That's a new one. I guess they don't want me to record when you don't know it. Okay, thank you. Okay, well, the people that aren't here, they know everything I've already said anyway. So, okay, so here is my first lay-in. And now my job is to try and make it better. So I think the sky is maybe still too dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come back and add something to it that hopefully will make it lighter. One thing about blues, it really, if you're going to be a real landscape painter, do a lot of landscape, having a lot of really good blues is really helpful because with the sky, it's really helpful just to be able to put down the blue you want and not try to do something weird like, I mean, this is all pretty weird, right? I mean, it doesn't look weird compared to the painting because the painting is weird, but the sky is usually just needs to be a little, I mean, I like the sky to look like the sky and not some weird thing. And if you have to put a lot of weird colors under your sky, then it won't look, it'll look weird forever. So. Oh yeah, the color's not as good as it. Okay, you can see, I mean, yeah, the color doesn't look as good on the my monitor as it does on the. So, okay, and so then, all right, so one thing is, like I haven't used any white yet, and I just want to be sure I get everything in these clouds that I want before I do use white. Oh yeah, I'm gonna work on this next week, right? That's what I do. I don't have to, I'm just doing the start. Okay, so I do want to see what my lightest lights are. So I'm just going to keep coming up with my clouds. And you see, I'm just working with the flat. And so I talked about composition, drawing, value, color. And the next thing would be texture. But I'm not thinking about texture right now. I'm just putting it on. I'm not trying to do my strokes in a particular, you know, a particular way that would kind of suggest what stuff is. I can't think about everything at once. So right now, all I'm really thinking about is getting my colors better. I also have a tendency not to come up to the edge of my outlines. So I need to do that now so they don't bother me later. Everybody else knows this, but I had a couple of teachers that if you came up to the outlines before your color was kind of under control, they would kind of get angry at you. And so I don't know, I got in that habit, but I do need to get rid of them now because otherwise that red will be bugging me. God, do I not even have a light? Guess I have to open her. So I kind of avoid using white until I have those other colors under there, but I need to have my white going now because I need to have the sky light enough that I can have plenty of room to get all the layers of darks I need in the mountains. So the sky really is setting the key for my painting. And I want my painting to be in a very, just like music, I want it to be in a high key. So you can think of it that way. I want my painting to be somewhere, well, I like my painting to be all over the piano. So I'm trying to make this as light as I can with what I have. And some people might try to keep everything in a lower key and everything would be kind of muted and dark, but that's not me. So, so I don't know, I came to this one next because I felt like I had a better idea of what to do here than I had to do what to do there. So also I use a ton of purple. The purple is kind of the color of distance and air. So when you're trying to make things go a little further away, purple can be a really good choice. But I also, I do try to avoid making rules. So I feel like rules are just there to help you if you're kind of screwed up. Then you might think back to yourself, oh, Janine said that on a sunny day, the lights are kind of yellowy and the shadows are a little cooler. So if she had said that in your hearing, it's not like it's a rule. It's like something you could fall back on when things weren't going like you wanted them to. Okay, no. So right here, I kind of switched over. I kind of started doing a stroke that would be hopefully reminiscent of a tree. So I didn't exactly mean to, I just sort of did. Okay, so now back to where I was. So I started with the sky and I worked down, and basically that's what I do every time. I start again with the sky and I work right back down. And but I might not, but often, usually I do. But if I don't, see, I screwed that up. If I forget and I kind of work in a more random way, the last time over, I try always to work from the top down. And the reason is that way, the stuff that's in front literally is in front of the stuff that's behind, because I did it last. So let's just see what I can do about this. Field. I know it is better for me to work from a photograph for you guys, because I'm in working with from a painting. I've already, just picked everything, but I really thought I was not going to be able to make the whole thing work where I could have the photograph showing and the thing I'm working on. I just really figured it out on Saturday. So, because all the software has been updated. All right, so this is that little, oh wait, let's see. Oh no, Leslie's still at the ER, just saying. Okay, so here's this little line of trees that's back here. And so like right here, it's kind of disappearing into that mountain. So maybe that mountain really is still is a little too dark, but I need to do something about this other mountain first. I can't decide what to do. Oh, just a broken toe, she says. That's not so bad. I have to tell her I'm reporting out live updates on Leslie. I don't know, so maybe I can come over this again, and then maybe I can make my little trees darker here. So all the time you're painting, you just can't be looking at one thing. You have to be looking at everything at once, because that's the only way you can figure out what the heck is going on, is by looking everywhere. Okay, so this one, I just too in a hurry to break it up. I'm just gonna get down to the bottom, and then I'll stop. And you don't need to obsess about this, but if you can kind of figure out what colors, like I'm just getting ready right now to put something darker on top of this. See, it's just fine. So don't like make yourself crazy worrying that, oh my God, I've got it too light and now. And the other thing, the secret weapon, in my opinion, is fixative. So a lot of people don't use fixative because now with the more expensive and more textured papers, you don't have to. But I still make enough mistakes that I have to use fixative. So the thing that fixative does for you is it creates a new surface so that you can almost like start all over again. And because at some point I would get to a place where I couldn't work on this anymore. And without fixative, then pastels are not, oh my God, what is it? Without fixative, pastels become a little more like watercolors where you can't just infinitely change stuff. So yeah, so what I'll do between now and next week is I'll take this outside. You definitely want to be outside when you do it, and I'll spray it sort of like this, going about this slow and holding it back about, I guess I'm about 10 inches away from it or something. So you want to see it get a little damp, but you definitely don't want to see it look wet or run. You want to see it get damp, but not run. Although if it runs, you can probably fix that too. Okay, just one more thing here. So this painting, which I to point that way because that's where it is on my screen. This painting looked like this when I started. And I can tell you that the homeowner was watching me and I was having a complete and total nervous breakdown because I was worried about how things were going. So this is how my paintings start. They're very rough. I try to take risk in terms of my colors, not always just use the colors I think will work or the colors even that I see. Oh, gotta do something here. One more thing. Yeah, in the fall, like anytime, like I know people wondering why isn't she starting the greens red or something, but in the fall, if you start your greens, the things that are green, if you start them too green, then what are you going to do? I mean, if you start them orange or some wacko thing, what are you going to do when you need to make some orange, you know, fall colors? So it just all varies and it all depends on what you can do. And another time you wouldn't make your greens so strange, because I haven't here, just saying, but another time you wouldn't make your greens so strange is when you're doing flowers, because you need all those colors to make flowers, not, yeah, not greens. Okay, does anyone have any questions? I'm going to turn it off right in a second. So going once. Okay, I'm going to switch it back to the other view. At least time. It's me.
It's your braids.
I know, my hair is so long.
I do, I like them.
Well, it's all I can do. I just have to keep it. It's so odd here. And I have to keep it out of my face. Oh, I'm going to turn off one light or something because it's also so hot. Oh, now I'm going to look younger. Okay, so let's see. So that took a little longer than normal. Normally I try to just to do 30 minutes, but also we had a technical difficulties. But really, those of you that were here last year know that there were less technical difficulties than we often have. Okay, so what I'm going to do is a few people sent me their paintings, pictures of what they're working on. So I'm going to go through those. There aren't very many. So also, Sue, I don't know, I didn't get pictures from you of your actual paintings. You said you were going to share them with me during class, but if you want to send me the photographs, I'll add them to this. Okay, so now what do I need to do? Share the screen.
I didn't get your email in time, but I can do it now.
Okay. So the other thing, you guys, is, you know, I have a, what do I have? A 6:30 till about 5 o'clock job on Mondays. So I need to get your photographs on the weekend. Otherwise, I probably can't do as much for you as I would like to do. So I need to get them on the weekends, okay? Okay, and if I don't, I'll still try to do what I can, but okay. So now you should be able to see my screen. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And if your little selection of people's faces is in front of your screen, you can move that. So you can move it just by grabbing it and moving it out of your way. You can collapse it all the way if you want. Like that's, what does Grace say? Oh, it's different. Oh, God, okay. I'll see what I can do, Grace. Whoops. Okay. Okay, so this is Barb.
Nice.
Nice. Oh my God.
I know.
Cheap.
I know, it's so annoyingly good.
That's beautiful, Barb.
It's so annoyingly good, I have nothing bad to say.
Oh, it's
You
gorgeous.
don't say that.
No,
It's
really
annoyingly
good.
good.
I mean, there's maybe one or two tiny, tiny little things. Like you can see my cursor, right? This line right here is a little hard to be the edge of a field. And this tree, the color in this tree falls into the color behind it a little too much. So it's kind of a weird shape here. So just don't use the same color here that you use back there and just blur that edge out a little bit. It's funny because you did it. You did blur it out more, but this is where it's really important. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
I have a crap load to say about the next one, just saying. Okay. Okay, so this is on the right here, this is Barb's, which also an incredible job.
Oh my gosh, beautiful.
Because I got hers on Sunday, I was able to do some stuff. So sometimes I do appreciate seeing the photograph you worked from, but at the end of the day, what really matters is how the painting looks. So sometimes, especially from a photograph, which I'm assuming this was, because otherwise you're really a genius. You know, you look at you just get trapped into doing every single thing that's there. There it is.
Yes.
So I'm gonna do it. Right. But more than anything, you have to keep your eyes on your subject matter. So I don't know if this is supposed to be the wings. I don't know what it is. If it's
It's an effect from the fact that I took a picture of it and its wing was moving and my camera was too slow to take an individual picture of that wing. It took the picture of it sliding.
okay.
So, and I liked it, so I put it in there, but you're right, it doesn't read very well. And the highlights on the boards were something that I stopped in and did some of it with a teacher here who's not a pastel teacher, but a painting teacher. And he suggested I make those highlights on the board stronger, which I did, but I like that you took them out.
Yeah,
because
he's wrong about that.
he's wrong. Yeah, I think he is wrong.
Yeah, he's wrong. You just all the time, you got to keep your mind on what is your center of interest and what things are competing with it that makes it impossible for that to be like your center. I mean, you don't have to have just one. In a regular picture, I would say you'd have more than one, but when it's something as spectacular as the hummingbird, then I think that's the one. So I feel like the leaves are detracting from him too. So I blurred him a little. I didn't, I mean, it would take a lot of time in Photoshop to do this. So, and I made him a little bluer and I added more atmosphere in here. So I didn't just make it a black hole. Can you see that difference? And I did it up here too. And I blurred out these and darkened them a little so they weren't competing.
Oh yeah.
I didn't do one thing to the flowers because I thought they were great. Oh yeah, and I shortened this, but I'm not 100% on that. I don't know if it should go or what, but anyway, I did shorten it. And then the last thing I did was I cropped it. And
you made a square.
I made a square because
I was planning on taking some of the black out of the top. I mean, making it shorter on the top because it's annoying.
It's kind of a bunch of emptiness.
Yeah, it is.
It doesn't have to be a square. That was just what I tried. I was trying to get the bird. I don't know. I was just trying to get more attention on the bird. And the other thing I see now what I've done, the reason I have this here is just to remind you, like I came in a ½ an inch from your painting.
Yeah, I never frame with a ½ an inch. I usually do about a ¼ of an inch or maybe 3/8 because I'm so jealous of the space. I don't want to lose it.
That's fine, as long as you're considering it.
Yeah,
As long as you're considering what you're gonna lose. Okay,
thank you.
oh, sure. Okay, Fran. This is watercolor.
Yes, I put it in here anyway, anyway, because it's the only thing I did this summer.
I know that feeling. I did one thing this summer and I did it sitting on Grace's porch with her. And it's pretty bad, mine, not yours. You've got some really good stuff in here. The sky looks awesome. Your cool little strokes on the edges of your trees look great. Yeah, you know, I don't know, my watercolors, I'm not really a watercolorist at all, but there's some places like right in here, I don't know exactly what happened, if you had to, it just, the best places are the places that have the transparency of the layers on top of each other. And the places where it's solid are the least good. So anywhere that, and the only way to get that layering is to actual layer and let it dry before you come back to it and add your layers. The sky is terrific. It's, of course, it's what watercolors is so good for. This is probably too dark back here a little bit. And I don't know what you could have different here. You have this problem that you have all these horizontals. So I'm not sure what you could have done different to get rid of some of those. And maybe just a little sense of shadowing under your chairs, which are amazing. But don't they kind of look cut out and pasted on. They don't look really in the landscape. So just a tiny bit of darkness under there, even if it's just this stuff, you know.
Yeah, I think the challenge I had was it was a very gray day, so there probably weren't really shadows. And I couldn't quite bear how gray the sky was, so I put some pink in from the night before.
Nice.
But I didn't put any in the water where I think maybe it belongs to.
Yeah. I think
And if I'm making that up, and I think you're right, I need to make up shadows.
Even on a gray day, the shadows are underneath things. So they're
Okay,
not like stretching out, but on a gray day, there will almost always be shadows underneath things because the sky is not shining on that spot underneath.
okay.
Yeah, but good. I'm glad you did. I've been doing a bunch. Maybe I'll share some with you sometime. I've been doing them at the beach. Okay, great. So I think I just got this message from Grace that she's worked on it again. Is that true, Grace? Is that?
I want to say before we talk about this, this is very much the beginning. I threw this in for all the newbies. No, but I am. I just started it, and I know there's a million things to do. The one that I sent you after this, I had put more orange in. When I started it, I was not at home and I didn't have any of my good oranges. So
right, that problem. Did you text it to me, Grace, or the new one?
I texted it to you and you said, didn't I just, you just send it to me?
Oh, yeah, okay. I was.
Yeah, so,
Okay, so there it is.
yeah. I mean, it's not that it's finished by any means. I don't pretend. And I can see that I need, wait, is that the,
Unsupported
what is
image.
that?
It won't.
That's, okay, that's fine, that's fine.
Okay, there it is. Now, you guys can see that, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah, nice.
wow,
I think it's really nice.
that's beautiful.
Really?
Yeah, it really is. It's a great
Yeah.
easy start.
Well, it needs a lot of work.
It's beautiful.
There it was, an incredibly peaceful afternoon on the beach, but suddenly there was a hurricane.
Yeah, and that child, it was swept away and that was the end.
That was that.
Yeah,
I could tell he was
it's
a
a shame
child.
too.
So
So-
next time, Grace, I mean, I understand you didn't have your good oranges, but start even stronger than this. Get it even a stronger orange. And as you come back to it now that you're going to be paying attention, is make sure you keep your strokes down here really horizontal to show.
Yes,
that
I'm aware. It looks like
wave.
it's going up.
He's on a sandbar about to be overcome by a wave.
So in the sky, it's also the blue is way too blue. I need to make that grayer.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. That's nice.
Yeah, do what you want.
What do you know, Marty?
She knows a lot. Wait till you see what she did. Ooh.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know.
Get ready to hate her.
But it's such a, this is the dusk. And I think the blue that I put in is too blue.
Okay. Good spotting.
Okay.
I don't have a very good way to show you how to redraw the boy, but his head is tipped forward. And I think you can in the shadow comes back more. So he's a slightly a V from the bottom of his leading foot,
He's
Janine?
slightly what?
like a V shape.
Oh, V, yes.
Yeah, V.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Yeah, that's wrong. Okay.
Janine, why did you say to keep the lines horizontal?
Because it's the ground and it's flat. Right now,
Oh.
it kind of looks like a wave coming in.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of, in this case, you have to just be sure that that's an easy way to differentiate between the water and the land.
Great. Okay, thanks.
That's a good question. Maybe that blue in the left-hand corner is a little strong too. Also, there's you don't, well, see, you're not doing this whole picture, right? Why don't you crop it so you know what you're doing? Place. So you know how the drawing should be and all.
You know,
You mean crop the photo?
I think that I just photographed it wrong.
Okay,
In other words, in the actual painting,
there's more.
there's more of it on the left. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but just, double
And I-
check your drawing and make sure.
Yeah, I will.
Good job,
I
Chris.
haven't tried the waves yet. That's gonna be a challenge.
It is a challenge. My recommendation is look at that Winslow Homer. Okay, now everybody get ready. This is Marty's.
I'm in the wrong class.
I changed it though. I made the back hill darker on the left-hand side, so there was more of a hill to kind of balance it out.
Beautiful.
You made
Kinda
it darker
dear.
than it is now?
Yeah, I made it kind of more bluish green
You're gonna have to.
because I needed to balance out the hay bales in the front.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know
Marty, is
what
that-
that white stuff is that showed up. That must be the picture, how I took it or
Oh,
something.
well, yeah,
That
Marty.
was the snow.
Marty. Your paintings are so good. They deserve to have better pictures taken of them. And
Oh, Jenny,
a
thank you,
lot
but
of times I lay mine on the floor to take, or on a table flat to take the picture. And
okay.
I have an iPhone. I don't know what you have, but when you hold your phone over it, if you line up the two crosses in the middle, it'll all be parallel.
Okay.
So I
Good to know.
cropped this for you, as you can tell. So, but I did notice that white thing. I was worried.
Yeah, I don't know what that white amoeba is. It's not. on
Okay,
the
but the thing I wonder about is you said you made this darker. What I was gonna say is I think this is too dark. And I don't, it
maybe,
doesn't, to me,
yeah.
it's so dark, it doesn't go with the quality of the day.
That could be. Yeah, I can lighten that up.
And be sure, I mean, I'm not positive how the bales go, but see, these ones you made go kind of parallel to each other, the roundness of them. But
Yeah.
here we got this thing that's kind of.
Yeah, the guy that wraps them, this is in my front yard, so the guy that wraps them is not the best farmer.
Well, just ignore it then, because it just flattens it out right there.
Yeah,
And then these two this one is a little lighter, but these two are just the same or darker even. So they need more atmosphere. It's a very atmospheric painting. And then to have these really dark things, and especially right here, it kind of looks like a hole.
okay.
The general rule is that cast shadows are not as dark
As what you're
well,
casting.
laying down shadows when you have the sky shining on them are not, I'm sorry, it's different for still life, but when you're outside, these shadows on the ground are illuminated by the sky. So
Right.
they are usually lighter than the shadows in the vertical plane.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, and I don't know, were they rounded or are they really pointy?
Well, that one was kind of pointy.
Okay. All right. God, it's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Sorry. I mean, it's so gorgeous. Oh, all the.
Sorry, why are you sorry? I appreciate it.
Yeah, I know. It's what you're paying the big bucks for. And here we go again. I don't know. I guess I wonder, but I'm sure, I mean, I'm sure you're not finished, right? Or are you?
No, I'm still
Well-
working on that one.
I don't know what this is, but it feels like really close to me. Is it? Oh, it's another tree or something. Is it in front? or
Yeah,
is it
it's the
behind?
tree, the other part of the tree where the hole is that they're
Oh,
poking out of. And I did start working on darkening that and making it roll around.
okay, great. Yeah, just don't let it.
And I
compete
also
with
gave a
else.
highlight into that one eye that's not highlighted.
It's incredible what the highlights do. Yeah, so
Yeah.
just don't let this look like yet another giant owl or something.
Okay.
Kind of.
Okay,
Just think about that. If they weren't owls here, then this might be perfectly fine, but this with the owls is not as, it's a little too confusing. I mean, I know
Okay.
it's not an owl. And once again, this is incredible. The freaking rocks. Look at those babies.
thank you. That was a long time coming.
No kidding. I almost said something else, but
Was this a watercolor?
No, this is oil.
Oh, okay, got it.
all right. The only thing I have to say about this is I think these trees are too bright. So.
Well, I know, when I started working on it today, I started putting more of a shadow sort of look over the first bridge and lightening up the light side
Mhm,
because there was no clear delineation of the light and the shadow.
right.
So I
Okay.
worked on that.
Well, maybe you'll send me another one next week, right?
Okay.
Okay, and this is Anne, who discovered quickly she didn't have the right colors to paint this. So. You know, reds are really difficult in any medium. They're so hard. And but I love your start.
I do too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You know, I've had all my materials packed away for about 2.5 years, and I've been so afraid. Every time I think of it, I'm more afraid to try. So I just had to dive in, and I didn't have, after I'd done this, I found a lovely box of, Great Americans. But so maybe I can do some work on it.
Yeah.
I just needed to get started again.
No, I'm really glad you did. I was trying to decide about the background color of the grass. I really like the darks up here and I like the way it sets things off. So maybe you can put in a few more dark leaves or something around, or I don't know, just, you know, I know you just started, but I love it. I think it's great. So we want to see more of it later.
Mhm.
And my God, Judy and the
Oh, that's great.
yeah,
Hi, elephant.
it looks like stained glass.
He's called the Great Trumpeter.
It's really good.